The First Decision, a book by Solomon Arleta.
I'd like to talk about opportunities, you see, when they present themselves, and why it is crucially important that we are ready for opportunities when they come, especially using the first decision as a tool. I had a situation where I had to go and more or less cover off a shift for another project manager who was indisposed at the moment. He had a few things he had to do, so he couldn't really work, and that was available at the time. So I thought, oh, why not? I'd go in there and sort it out. I had no idea what the digital initiative was, but from the brief I'd been given, it was more or less a standard process, standard delivery method kind of approach to problem solving. So the situation was more or less organic for me. So I went in there thinking, okay, I would go, do what I need to do, and obviously make the place as nice and tidy as it was. So this guy can come in and feel free to take over. When I went in there, it was a very, very interesting scenario. So these guys were working with a huge client whose focal point was gaming industry, and I'm a gamer myself, so I've always enjoyed that kind of atmosphere, but I've never had the opportunity. I had a stint working with Microsoft on the Xbox for a couple of years ago, and I kind of always look forward to similar kind of situations, you know, just in the back of my mind. It's always been there. But in this regard, it had to do with mobile gaming, and I haven't really worked with mobile gaming. So that opportunity came, and I thought to myself, you know what, I'm going to give myself 100%. I'm really going to dive into this, know the game, go as far as even knowing the characters, understanding the emotions of the character, just to get leverage, just to get satisfaction of how to really work with within the mobile gaming industry, and giving it my best. And this game was I'd seen it being advertised before, but on the TV, but I've never really taken interest because I wasn't really a big fan of strategy games. You see, I was more of just a first-person shooter, or ideally maybe just how would I put it now? Normal regular football games, or Call of Duty, or as a first shooter, or football, FIFA. I play a lot of those things and have a lot of time for them, and I do racing games as well, like Gran Turismo and Formula 1. But strategy games have never really been my thing, you know. So I thought, why not? So I went and I downloaded the game. I started to play, and I started to work with the characters at work. I play, I work, I play, I work. Before I knew it, I was so into this game. I mean, it was amazing. I couldn't even separate work from gaming, and it was the opportunity that presented itself in that regard is that my conversations I started having with the clients, we would talk about the characters, what they're supposed to look like, what the objectives are, what the aim from an engagement point of view is supposed to be, from an execution point of view, what we should be looking at when we make these characters, have down to their posture. If they're posing right, if they're posing wrong, it's wrong. They won't even take it. So what that did for me is gave me a whole new set of thinking with regards to how you actually look at life from a vantage point. You have to be prepared for the opportunity, because when opportunity comes, what you need to do now is align yourself responsively to that opportunity. In certain instances, you would find yourself in a place where you've been given that opportunity, but maybe you're not prepared. But the truth of the matter is, majority of the time, the opportunities that present itself for us, we actually have the required time to align ourselves with it. It might be a split second, that is time. It might be a minute, it's time. It might be 5 minutes, it's time. It might be 1 week, it's still time. But what you need to do is be able to understand that time and use that time to really align and create the best advantage for you, so you can leverage that opportunity when it presents itself. This is where I think decision making becomes very crucial, and using the first decision as a tool.
So, in the end, whether it is in the majestic elusive glory we experience when we succeed at something, or in our darkest state where we seem to have failed, all of this can however be governed by a single entity called decision. It is what we decide to be, or decide to do, that inevitably expresses itself as